Big fluff.
We're going home.
Rude of you! After all the trouble, I want you to feel at home! And you're running off like naughty little children. I just can't allow that.
Yeah, well, who asked you, you overgrown tin can?
What? Answer, honestly, Jonathan. Take my advice. Keep your cool. I'm in the giving vein today, Doctor. Return to your rooms and wait like good little children. Or you will know pain far greater than your worst nightmare.
Sorry I'm late. Miss anything?
Hello again, I'm Joel Murphy.
And I'm Andy McIntyre.
And this is Silver Linings Playback, the podcast where we watch maligned movies and we find their silver linings.
And it is the last month of August. And we're recording this before the Fantastic Four came out. But you'll watch it after the Fantastic Four came out. And we're going to talk about the first attempt to put the Fantastic Four on the big screen. This is the 1992 Roger Corman produced Fantastic Four that may or may not should have ever seen the light of day. And back again to talk about it with us is friend of the show, Joe Dunn. Welcome back, Joe.
Thank you so much. I've been sitting here, camera on, ready, just the whole week.
you were just here, when we showed up. I'm sorry, before we go on, Andy, what do you know that we don't, that it's the last month of August? Does that mean that there are no more Augusts that are
August
happening?
Is done.
It's the last month of August.
Okay.
They decided that Augustus Caesar was bullshit, and they're just getting rid of August.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you threw that out there, and I wanted to know what I hadn't heard.
Yep, they're throwing into the Gulf of America.
Do they have a new name yet?
Nope.
They? Oh, okay.
There's going to be an online poll.
I pitch Smarch. I think
Smarch.
It's time for
Smarch
Smarch.
is solid.
Because August has lousy weather.
It
so
does.
I think it's, yeah.
Yeah. I'm voting for Monthy McMonthface.
Oh, that's going to win.
This is controversial, but I'm going for July 2.
All three good choices. Listen, all three very good choices.
I feel like July 2 might cause some confusion with when you're trying to, what day are we meeting? On July 2 the 3rd. It's July 23rd?
July 2 2nd.
Do you want me on there July 1 the 2nd? The 2nd of July 1 or or July 2 all month?
2nd July 2nd. Yeah, so then in Europe it's going to be even more confusing because it'll be 2nd July 2nd.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is a nightmare. Yeah. I don't think we should.
I've changed my vote. Sorry, Monthy McMonthface.
You're voting for chaos?
Yes.
Instead of using the 8 for the month, it's 7B. So when you're writing it out, so it's even weirder. Yeah.
Okay, I like it.
Yep.
I think it should be 7-2, so they think it's the 72nd month. It's July 2, 7-2.
It's getting more confusing by the moment.
We're going to have to have a second vote for that.
Yeah. If it gets voted for, then we have to vote for how to write it. That's the next part.
Yes. If July 2 wins, then because if it's Monthy McMonthface or Smarch, then it just the number stays the same. It's just the name changes.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. Yeah. Now that we've covered that.
Yeah. No, it's important.
Yes. So we're closing out the month, as Andy said, with this movie. This is an interesting parallel because we did Superman 4, and I think on the surface there's a lot of similarities, but I think some key differences in that these are both low budget affairs that were made by studios really looking to do something to capitalize on the fact that they had the rights to a superhero movie.
Yeah.
And I think the craziest thing to start with is we talked a lot when we did Superman 4 about the fact that it was supposed to cost $30 million. It cost 17. They slashed the budget, and I think 8 of that went to Christopher Reeve. So like, but that was the budget for that movie, $17 million. Reportedly, this movie's budget was $1 million.
Jeez.
It's amazing.
And I'm going to come out hot at the beginning and say, I think it looks better than Superman 4.
You know what? Yeah.
I mean, partly because it knows what it is. It's not trying to punch Superman into the moon or, rebuild the Great Wall of China. It knows that it's spray painted styrofoam on the walls to, and suits that don't quite fit.
And it wasn't like it was a big budget movie that was substantially cut, or even a moderately budgeted movie that was substantially cut. They scrounged around their couch cushions to get the scratch together to make this flick, and they put the work in.
Yeah, so the Constantine films had the rights to Fantastic Four. The rights were expiring, so they went around town to basically the two people that I know they went to, because I watched a documentary to prepare for this episode called Doomed, which is fantastic and everyone should watch it. Is they went to Lloyd Kaufman, the trauma guy. And he was not interested because he was like, we have Toxic Avenger. We have our own stuff. I don't want to do a Fantastic Four movie. And they went to Roger Corman, who is an iconic B-movie guy. And basically with Corman, they were like, we'll give you $1 million. You have to start shooting by the end of the year. And he said, give me the weekend to see if we can put together a script and if my guys can do it. And I'll let you know. And then they made it.
Give me the weekend. He's like, my writer's getting married, but he'll fit it in.
If you had called me before 9 a.m., I think we could have had it today, but I'm going to need the weekend.
It's like, listen, the wedding's Saturday. That gives us most of the day Sunday to work on it.
But yeah, he put together a pitch in a weekend, and yeah, they started shooting pretty immediately. And the thing that I think that we do have, well, there's a couple things. One, I think it is important context to note that Roger Corman, I think a reason that people love him is he's I don't have the exact quote in front of me, but he's quoted as pretty much saying like he never approached B movies as B movies. He always made the best movie he could make with the budget that he had. Like he didn't phone it in. He wasn't trying to make stuff that was schlocky. Like he just had no money and was making movies. And I do think that is the charm of Corman. And so I think that's an important context that he wanted this to be good. Like nobody involved from Roger Corman's side was phoning it in. But the thing that we have to talk about that is really depressing about this story is what they didn't know, legitimately, according to Doomed, according to what everyone on Corman's team, all of the actors, everyone, the editors, everyone involved on their side, did not know that essentially this was just Constantine Films. They never had any intention to release this movie. Their entire plan was, we need to make sure we hold on to the rights. So we have to film something, and we're going to film a garbage movie because we're negotiating with 20th Century Fox and we're trying to sell the rights, but we'll just lose the rights. So we need to have the rights to sell them to a big studio to make this for real.
Yeah, it is unfortunate that this movie was made under false pretenses.
Yeah.
Maybe the falsest pretenses of any movie we've done for the podcast. I think I feel pretty safe saying that.
And yeah, it's also just. Oh, I was just going to say, too, because I specifically called out Constantine Films, I think also important to note that Avi Arad, the head of Marvel Films, is the person who supposedly this worked and like bought this film. Marvel owns this film, and they bought it with the intent of making sure that it was never able to be released.
I watched the Doom documentary too, and part of me thinks it was a mistake because like I was ready to like rip this movie apart, but that documentary really shows how much they put, like everyone on the creative end of this put their heart and soul into this and really cared about the final product, and like they knew they had to cut corners and do it quickly and everything, and the budget was nothing, but they still were giving it 100%, and they loved it and they were happy. And it's heartbreaking, the story. Just
No,
Yeah,
it really
really
is. No, it made me like the movie so much more watching the documentary.
Same.
Like, I would highly recommend people, if you're going to watch one, and I think you should, to be clear, watch Fantastic Four, which we'll get into, I'm sure, more, but you have to do either on YouTube or Internet Archive or something like that. Like, it's not legit available. But if you watch it, I highly recommend watching Doom to hear everyone talk about it, because, yeah, it's like everyone... They were very clearly like a lot of comic book fans involved. All the actors thought this was like their big break. They were really excited about the characters they were playing. A lot of them like promoted the movie themselves. They paid their own money to go to Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Like they were doing everything they could to promote the movie. They all really loved the movie and really believed in it. And to the point too that the guy who plays Dr. Doom, Joseph Culp, like he talked a lot in Doomed about the fact that he was like, I kept telling them like, I'll come in and do ADR. Like I was wearing the mask. I know that, you know, there's some dialogue that needs to be touched up. Like I'm ready to do that dialogue whenever you need me. Like he was hitting them up and being like, can I get some stills from the thing? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they all were very excited to be in this movie and thought it was going to be a big, and I think it is important to mention, and they talk about it a lot in the documentary, that like at the, like now it might seem funny to go like, well, we know what comic book movies became and what Marvel was clearly on the cusp of achieving, but they kind of grounded pretty well but there were no good Marvel movies at this point. Like, so there was like reason to believe that this was going to be released in theaters and that this was what a Fantastic Four movie was, because like, yeah, you had the Incredible Hulk TV show and, you know, stuff
and
like
the
that.
Spider-Man TV show.
Yeah. And this is on par with and probably better than those, you know, like just budget and look wise.
Marvel must have been terrified at the time too, because this was right after Batman, like when that was coming out and working so well. But I could understand them seeing this finished product and not wanting people to compare it to Batman and have this be their first taste of theatrical Fantastic or Marvel movies.
Yeah, it's a complicated thing because like I do understand like Marvel's perspective on it, and they even talk about Stan Lee came to the set and was like, you know, hanging out, and like definitely Marvel had eyes on this project and they were watching it. And I get all that, but yeah, it's hard not to feel bad for people who like were basically scammed into making a movie, because it's like, because you get into a question of like, if it's always going to be shelved, if it doesn't matter, why not tell the actors, you know, like why make them think that they're making
I think
real
because
movie?
it was the ultimate hedging on behalf of Marvel. Because if this movie had ended up being awesome, which it's not, but had it been awesome, then it's a no-lose situation for them.
Yeah, but I also want to be clear on something that I did. Andy, you texted me and I said this. It's not the worst Fantastic Four movie I've ever seen. And I want to be clear about that. And I kind of feel like this script, with the resources that were behind the Jessica Alba, you know, Fantastic Four, I don't think it's markedly different. The difference is they didn't have any money and it looks cheap, but I don't think the story's bad. I don't think any of the instincts are wrong for what they're trying to do. The biggest
difference between this and any of the other Fantastic Four movies is solely in dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
also,
is
it doesn't
a bit
use
of an
any
indictment
numbers.
of the other Fantastic Four movies.
It doesn't use numbers as letters in the title either, but that's
that's true.
That's
It's
trying
not the
to make a
Fan
4 and A. Yeah.
That's
one
the
of
worst
these days
one.
Elite is going to catch on.
But yeah, to be clear, Fan Four Stick's still worse than this.
Yeah,
like,
Fan Four Stick is still worse.
Yeah, and you could have made
genuinely
like what 20 of these? I don't know what the budget of it was. That probably way more. You could have made a ton of Roger Corman Fantastic Four movies. We could have an entire anthology of Roger Corman Fantastic Four movies for what they paid.
You could have done one a month.
Issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Each issue.
Here it is, issue 38. This tree is Groot.
This tree with googly eyes on it.
That is what I guess another thing that we should talk about is, because of everything that we mentioned, one of the other things is that Marvel was obviously very narrow in what they were going to let this production use. So it really was the Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom, which is why there's a Leprechaun character named the Jeweler.
Classic Marvel character, the Jeweler.
Yes. Not at all named like a 1960s Batman villain that looks like he's from Halloween Town.
I will admit that I was watching this movie. I was, just like, okay, yeah, I'm getting into this. The quality is terrible as anyone who just watched the opening of this can see, like of what is available to people. It looks truly awful. But I'm like, okay, yeah, it's a low budget Fantastic Four movie. And then the Leprechaun showed up and I was like, what are we doing?
It takes a while before they name him. So like, I'm like, oh, this is supposed to be Mole Man, obviously. And he's got his little, he doesn't have his monsters, his minions, but he does have like these hobos.
He does
or
have
unhoused
these
people.
hobos.
Yeah. But yeah, it was weird. He's not at all like Mole Man. And when they did finally name him, I was like, what is going on? This is so weird. And his motivations are weird. Like there's a whole subplot where he kidnaps Alicia Masters and wants to marry her. And it's very strange. But I will say, I am here for his laser wire maneuvers. Like, I mean, I know it was the saddest laser grid ever put up as a security thing, but he steps over it with such grace.
No, he's a master thief.
Yeah, obviously.
I love that he just yoinks and already has the perfect replica to put there.
And yeah, I mean, you said he's nothing like Mole Man, and I get that, but I am disappointed he was never hit in the groin with a football. I kept waiting for it.
Release the outtakes. The ball, his groin. It works on so many levels.
But yeah, the Leprechaun is a weird choice. But I do. Well, I mean, we have Doctor Doom, which is delightful and a very fun Doctor Doom. And yeah, we get them. We get their origin story, all of that. Like, but it's a very strange movie overall, but not a bad movie. Like it's very comic booky and very silly, but for the time, I don't think its instincts are wrong.
It's true. Like I was waiting for them to do something horrible, like to make a really bad choice, the way that the other Fantastic Four movies do, where like Galactus is a cloud or whatever. But they stay pretty true and they don't take any major risks. But it just always comes back to that $1 million budget and not being able to really do it upright.
Well, and I do think another thing that is worth mentioning with the versions that are available online and like what we all watched, I assume, but is this movie does actually look better than the version that anyone has seen, because it was shot on film and there was a trailer released that because again, Corman was trying to get it out. So like he cut a trailer and it was played at Comic-Con, I believe. But they were trying to promote it, and that's like shot on film and actually looks pretty decent. But the only versions available are bootleg VHS, tapes that have been
substantially
traded.
degraded VHS bootlegs. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're also seeing, like, granted, I want to be clear. If we had the film version of this, it's not like you'd watch it and be like, oh my God, this looks this looks amazing. But it's not doing it any favors that it's the worst possible quality that you could imagine.
But no, going back and watching it, that is not one of the things I held against this for why this is, because I think it speaks to the lack of quality of the other. Like, this isn't a great movie, but it is a perfectly cromulent $1 million superhero movie. And I think that's the thing.
I think you could give a lot of people $1 million to make a Fantastic Four movie, and none of them would look as good as this, or at least most of them wouldn't.
That's true. Yeah.
You're probably
Like,
right about that.
Yeah, I think, I mean, the only thing I do think is worth maligning specifically about the plot is the choice to go with the, like the retconning, Sue Storm, you know, is a child when her and Reed meet, which wasn't originally what the Fantastic Four was about and then got added later. And it's weird, and it feels weird in this movie, and I don't like it.
What do you think? What do you think the age difference is? Right, so he's living at her house as a college student, or like he might be in medical school.
But he's grad school, yeah.
He might be grad school, yeah. So, but he's taking a room there while he's in school.
Mid-20s at the latest.
Yeah, at the latest, maybe 26, but she's certainly not 16. Like she's definitely
12.
like 12. Yeah, so she's in love with him, and he's
the actress that was playing her, Mercedes McNabb, 12 years old when this movie was filmed.
Oh wow,
yeah. Yeah, it's weird, and it's like, and it's based on a John Byrne, you know, sort of retconning thing, and it's not much better in when he did it, because I do actually have the panel, and she looks very young. Like,
oh jeez,
yeah,
he's already got the gray on the temple.
Yeah, he has gray, and she looks very young. So it's weird, and like, yeah, even if you're generous with this interpretation that, I mean, he's a genius and he maybe was in grad school young, there's no math that makes it not creepy, like as presented.
Yeah,
That's
the idea
for sure.
that someone would marry someone 10 years their junior is just a crazy idea.
Well, that
When they
met
if they
them
met when he was 26.
Yeah,
like, I think that's a lot of people have age differences. I'm not out here mad at, you know, Al Pacino for like,
I'm at Al Pacino for other reasons.
yeah.
well, the
but
movie
yeah,
tries to. They go through efforts to justify it. So like, there's definitely a period of time where he doesn't see her at all, and then he comes back to the house to get them to go to space with them because they promised it to them when they were little, which is weird, its own thing. But so he's not even thinking about her like as a potential girlfriend, wife, whatever. And then they give her that she's all that moment where she comes down the stairs and she looks lovely. Like,
no, that is true. That yes, that they do kind of play it, but it's a weird mixed thing, because it's like, yes, on the one hand, there's that they haven't seen each other in a long time, and there's this reveal, but also she's still living with her mom. They're not doing a lot of favors.
Right?
Yeah, and
Those storm kids are dumb.
And the fact that in movie runtime, this all takes place in less than 4 minutes.
That's a good
Right.
point. That's true. Yeah.
Well, and there's also just no real reason to do the time jump and to have them be young, that like you could just have her be adult and everything happens with Doctor Doom, and it could be 6 months or a year later. It doesn't have to be 10 years later that they're going to space.
That's absolutely true. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the only other plot point, I think the jeweler stuff is a little iffy. We kind of talked about that, is when the Thing becomes so sad, he turns back into Ben Grimm, and then becomes even sadder and turns back into the Thing. That's a little weird.
Wait,
What about it?
Was it
what about it's
sadness?
weird, Andy?
I was looking online for the actual reason why he turned, because he's ready to go. He says for like the second time, it's clobbering time. The second out of 3 times he says it. But she says to him, I love you, right? Like, that's what she says. And he's just like, he just melts. He falls apart. Like, what is it? Why does that make him sad? Why is he like superhero impotent now? And
Also,
later in the movie,
Joe, I was just saying, Joe brings up another point that is important to malign. He only says it's clobbering time 3 times in the movie.
Yeah.
And in a 90-minute runtime, you could have gotten to 7 or 8 easily.
I think I want at least one every 10 minutes. I want
he should
9
be saying it like
clobbering times.
He should be saying it every time he's
not, anytime he's not on the screen, we should be wondering when it's clobbering time.
Yeah, and then when he comes back, he can let us know. Now it is in fact clobbering time.
Honestly, has anyone done that? Has that ever been in the comics? Maybe he turns into a human form, but has Ben ever been sad that it wasn't clobbering time, like where he's misjudged it and then
someone shuts him down?
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean it's clean the bathroom time? I want it to be clobbering time.
By the way, another thing they talked about in the documentary that is kind of funny is it's Michael Bailey Smith is the guy they cast to play Ben, but a lot of this is just because of the production schedule. They literally didn't have time to cast the main actor, like to wait to do that before making the suit. So they hired a stunt guy first and built the suit around him. But then the actor who plays Ben is larger than the guy in the suit. So when he actually transforms, he has to like kind of hunch down and look smaller because he is physically larger than the thing.
They put so much money into that suit, though. And when you put that money,
that's where most of the budget went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know what?
Well, it has animatronics in it. Like it has
When it first shows up, it's like, oh, this kind of looks weird. But then when they get close in on the face and everything's moving, I was like, okay, they could do a ton with this. It was very much like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like it definitely reminded me of that.
Oh, yeah.
The way their faces moved. And it grew on me for sure. Like I accepted this. Whereas like, I feel like I've seen nothing but still images of this version of the thing for decades. And it doesn't look as impressive in just photos. So.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
But I like it overall. Like I think it is a good suit. That again, I think that suit probably, if you could, do some lighting and some favors to it and film it a little better, I think probably would look great. Probably would look as good as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff or whatever.
At least as good as like the Turtles 3 Turtles.
How dare you? It's better than the Turtles 3 Turtles now. I will not stand for this Corman slander.
I mean, it's fair. I don't know. I mean, let's praise this thing. Let's pivot. Let's silver lining it.
I have one quick malign before we move on. I'm so sorry. The Mr. Fantastic versus Doom fight sequence where it's just 3 straight lefts. Like it's boom, Doom falls down, Doom gets up. Boom, Doom falls down, Doom gets up. He just punches him 3 times with his left hand, and I was like, come on, these are like, this should be more fun.
I'm going to justify it. They're both geniuses, clearly, and I think that this is actually excellent game theory because he hits him once with the left, and then he's like, well, he's going to hit me with the right. And then so he hits him the second time, and then he's like, well, it's twice with the left. Like he's obviously not going to do the left a third time. So he's actually in Doom's head. Yeah.
Oh, wow. He's living rent free inside that metal mask.
I mean, isn't that the truest about the relationship between Dr. Doom and Reed Richards, though?
Yeah, that's true.
Withdraw.
Doesn't that get to the core of
brilliant.
It?
Does.
Yeah. See, and you thought you were maligning it.
I know.
We should have already
secret praise.
Oh, guys, I'm really sorry. I tried to pivot, but I'm having some sort of, I could only describe them really as technical difficulties doing that.
Oh, we should probably, let's take care of those real quick.
Yeah. Okay, I worked it out. Yeah, I got it fixed.
All right, so now we can pivot.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm sorry about those. Sometimes
technical difficulties happen. That's why we have the title card.
Yeah, I turned around and Charlie Gongman wasn't in the room. So
God.
Yeah.
What, is everything okay?
Yeah, he got a text from his wife, but it actually turned out to be a butt dial. So
okay.
It's fine.
Well, shout out to Charlie Gongman.
Yeah.
And his wife, oddly enough, also named Charlie Gongman.
Charlene, right?
Yeah, she goes by Charlie.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead. I think we said it, but just to restate it, the love that everyone who made this movie has for this movie is my biggest silver lining. It sincerely, I watched the movie first and I was like, oh, yeah, it's okay. I sincerely thought like it wasn't the worst Fantastic Four movie that I saw. But then when I watched the documentary, I was like, I like this even more now because of how much they love it.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone from top to bottom, like it really, like watching that documentary really elevated this film. And I didn't hate this film when I watched it. It's totally watchable. Yeah. It's really fun. I was mad that the performances were acceptable. Like not everyone is, but like there were a few where I was like, that's great. And then there were some people taking really long pauses. Those Doom pauses are out of control.
Yeah. But I mean, I do want to say that like Joseph Culp is a big silver lining for me. Like,
yes,
I think he's the best on-screen Dr. Doom. What he's asked to do is very cheesy, clearly, but like I think he embraced that and like accepted the assignment. But like, he's playing a cartoon villain, but he was told to play a cartoon villain. And I think this movie understands Doom like better than other movies have.
It's definitely the most comic accurate Doom that we've seen to this point in a live action movie. Objectively so. No, one thing I think is astonishing for this movie, especially because we've watched the gamut of big budget, small budget, medium budget movies for this, but all of the central cast have Wikipedia pages.
Yeah.
Which is sort of an impressive thing that like, and even the children that star as young Johnny Storm and young Susan Storm. Although arguably young Susan Storm may have been the most successful actor of all of them. Mercedes McNabb. She was probably most famous for being Wednesday's nemesis in the Addams Family movies.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
But she was also she also had a run on Buffy the Vampire Slayer as Harmony Kendall, and is still a working actress. And Joseph Culp has also done a lot of he's probably done the second most well known work because he was in Mad Men and a few other things.
Well, also, I don't want to undersell Jay Underwood's work as Bug in Uncle Buck.
I mean, fair.
Yeah,
fair.
It's sincerely like I didn't realize that when I first watched it, but I Uncle Buck is a movie I have watched a lot, and he's good at being Bug, like.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, like but again, everybody played it honest and like tried to make a good movie here. This is as good an example of Corman's quotes. Like, I made the best movie I could with the money I had. And like, even like the Human Torch action scene at the end, that is, rotoscoped at best.
There's an entire thing in the documentary about they kind of got fleeced by a special effects guy who sort of music manned them a little bit about how good he was at doing VFX, and he was like, I can do this, I've worked on all these movies, and then it became clear.
Fireman, I got it.
So it does seem like they wasted money on a guy that scammed them and then like had to go to someone else to do it, but at that point like officially had no money, so I think they were just going for whatever looked serviceable. But yeah, it's not great, but it works.
Well, and that's the other thing is like, it's not good by like objective standards, but if they had nailed that, it would have stood out so weirdly from the rest of the movie.
I mean,
like,
there's
if that
kind of a
looked
thing.
dope as hell.
No, it's a funny thing. There's I think it is the director of this movie says that like that Marvel should release this and that they should actually release two versions, the current one and then one where they redo the special effects. And I do kind of agree with you, Andy, that I think if they did that, it'd be so funny, like how much the special effects didn't fit.
Like, you're telling me that if they put like 2025 special effects in that scene, it would be so jarring.
But also, if they do it, if they decide to re-release it, I mean, Culp like said, I think 10 times in that documentary that he's just waiting for the call to redub,
to re-record.
Yeah.
He should. Yeah.
Yeah. He's
100%.
completely he's tech avail at any point.
And especially because like the early fire effects for Johnny Storm, like I think they just lit him on fire.
Oh, I think there was definitely real fire. Like a lot of times when he was doing the stuff with his hands or whatever, that just seemed like real fire. Like there seemed,
like it was just like alcohol flame burning on his hand.
I will say, I think of all the effects, I actually think it's very simple, like old movie tricks they're doing, but I liked their Sue Storm approach. Like I thought it worked. You know, like it fit perfectly in the movie.
Half of her.
Yeah, the half of her I loved. But it's for this movie, 100%. That's what they should be doing for the Invisible Woman.
That's, I think, another good example of this movie knowing exactly what it is. Like, you can't not have Reed stretch, but like, they couldn't have done a better job than what they did. Like, it's terrible. But
how do you guys
they do just enough?
How do you both feel about the arm? How do you feel
about my favorite part of the movie.
Oh, at the end? Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
It's literally like 6 yardsticks taped together with paper mache around it. It's awesome.
It's like it's like they stole one of those tube men from outside of an auto shop, a car dealership, and just.
I think every comic book convention that takes itself seriously should hire a driver with an arm out the sunroof and just laps around the convention. People would love it.
Also, could you imagine, sincerely, and if Marvel, if you're listening, first of all, invite us to the premiere, but then second of all, do this. Do that. There's a limo that pulls up to the premiere and that wobbly arm waves out and everybody's like, oh, that's fun. And then you actually have Pedro Pascal get out of that car. Are you kidding me?
Crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Like do it in a suit, like it's a tuxedo arm that waves and then he gets out in his tuxedo. Like that would kill in 2025, 100%. I also, while we're at it and while Marvel is listening, why not put this on Disney Plus? Give me one reason not to do it now.
There is so much trash online. Like, why not just put this on the pile? Because there's definitely an audience for it.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like, I understand the logic of in 1994 what the stakes were for establishing. And look, like Marvel really at that time started to get serious about their movie rights were sort of out there in a lot of ridiculous ways. Like when we talked about Superman 4, that was where Spider-Man was tied up, was Canon Films as well. Like they all their rights were sort of in the wind and they were trying to pull them back and they were trying to get them either, under their own control or at least like a reputable big studio because they wanted to be doing what DC was doing. I get that. I get why they shelved it then, but it would not affect, like putting it on Disney Plus now would get people to watch it. And especially if you did a version where you just scanned the film and gave it people, like this is a hot, coveted item anyway, that you own the rights to, that there is literally nothing. It wouldn't cost a lot to get the actors signed off to do it. They all want to do it. Like, I mean, Corman is no longer with us. So like, there's not really, who's going to stop this in red tape,
Nobody.
Yeah.
This cast was good enough. Like I really liked Alex Hyde-White as Reed Richards. I thought from the beginning, I was like, oh, he really feels like Reed Richards, but they're good enough where like, if they had popped up in Deadpool and Wolverine, it would have been a moment worth having. Like, I mean, or even if he's on the Council of Reeds in the future, like if he's one of them, him and John Krasinski and Pedro Pascal.
I agree. Like that. Yeah. Like with the multiverse stuff that they're doing, and who knows, we have all not seen the new Fantastic Four. So we can't definitively say that this cast doesn't show up.
That's true.
In Fantastic Four First Steps. They might They might all
Oh
be
my god!
there.
What if the first scene is Galactus eating their world? Just like, "Arr, arr, arr."
But it's
But
like,
it's that caliber Galactus.
yeah, it would have to be. Yeah, so it's a low budget Galactus, and it's like
just
eating
a puppet
like
eating a cake pop.
I was thinking like a beach ball. You give a beach ball that looks like the planet Earth. That someone in a big styrofoam.
You just hire Ace of Cakes to make one.
Also, amazing idea for the wrap party for Fantastic Four is just a cake that's Earth that you just gets eaten by, that's scaled. That like you're Galactus. That's great.
Listen, Marvel. Holler at
I
your
know
boys.
it's only a
We
week
got
away,
ideas.
but we got ideas.
We got plans.
Yeah, what is your marketing team doing? Teaming up with Little Caesars? Come on. Like, we've got this.
That pizza looks foul.
It's too much. I get why on paper the 4 kinds of pizza sounds like a fun tie-in to the Fantastic Four, but don't do 4 kinds of pizza.
No.
Oh yeah, I'm just googling it now. Jeez Louise! Holy cow!
Yeah. Yeah. No, this like it's nice watching movies that are actually made with love and care.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I mean, I would actually argue that this movie is kind of why we do this show. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
That I might never have watched it otherwise. And I'm really glad I did. And it is that sort of thing of like, okay, we know this movie's gonna be bad on paper, but let's find stuff we like about it. And then you dig into it and you're like, what I love is that everyone involved in this like gave it their all. And they're all might have been severely hamstringed by a lot of behind the scenes factors.
I mean, this movie is the polar opposite of Fanforstic.
Yeah.
Because by all accounts, that movie had way too much money and everybody hated it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's even different from Superman 4 in that Superman 4 was a more cynical undertaking, and it really was just about like, we're going to make this to establish ourselves, where this was just like, it kind of felt like, if you look at Corman as like a dog that chases cars, and then like he got one, he got like a Mercedes, and he was like, okay, let's see it through. Like he got a call to be like, make a Fantastic Four movie, and called their bluff and was like, okay, I'll do it. And it's like, it's impossible not to root for that. I also truly, because I didn't say his name before, but Oley Sassone is the director, who I did think did a good job with nothing, essentially. Yeah. And I loved as well that in the documentary that he said that, like, Marvel has claimed to destroy the film, but if they have any artistic, like if they're actual filmmakers at their hearts, they haven't, and that the film exists. And it's like, that just gets me on your side, that like, this dude loves making movies, and he loves this movie that he made, and he just wants people to see it. Like, do yourself a favor if you've listened this far and haven't seen it, go watch this movie. And if you happen to work for Marvel, go bug your bosses to put this on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Even if without doing any touch-ups or anything, just put the version you have on at a minimum. Just scan it and put it on.
Yeah, I mean, please do the film. Like, don't take the Internet Archive VHS copy that I watched.
No, do that. Do that.
But even then, why not? But like, yeah, just if you have the original film negatives, pay whatever amount of money to scan them into digital, and then do nothing else. And honestly, if you can't even afford that, I guarantee there's someone on a Marvel message board that has that equipment that would do it for you for free. Like, if you just told the world, or if you did a Kickstarter, like there's a million ways that people would support this.
Yeah. What's Topher Grace up to?
Oh my God. Yeah. Let Topher Grace get his hands on this. Yeah. Why not? Like, what if he edited it into a cut that we all were like, oh my God. Like, wow. Like, we all cry at the end of this movie.
We're all like, it's clever time for real.
It
was just fantastic.
And then we turn from ourselves
And
into
we turn
rock
into
monsters.
rock men.
Oh my god.
We get so sad we become rock men.
Oh man. Well, I think we did it.
I think we did it. Yeah, this
We
was
definitely
fun.
did it. Yeah.
Yeah. Joe,
So good.
thank you so much for coming back.
Yeah,
this
thank
was
you for
another
being-
silver lining that we got to do
What a
another one with
thrill.
you. And I would argue a more fun, even like I enjoyed last week's, but I'm glad you were here for this.
There was something really nice about this one. Like, I love Resident Silver Surfer, but that was just basically prep for the release of the new film. This one feels like a prep on my soul for the Fantastic Four. So it's good. I was so happy to come back. So thank you.
Yeah. And I mean, once again, online, do you want to give all the ways people can follow you?
Yeah, I just Joe Rules on Instagram and on Letterboxd. I'm easy to find. Digitalpimponline.com is the main website with the comics and stuff. So yeah.
Because you mentioned it last week, you might want to update some of that bio information on Digital Pimp Online. I think it mentions
I'm like 22 years old.
And I think it says he lives with his girlfriend, I want to say.
Yeah. Who I've been married to for 19 years.
I know. I was like, this is a little outdated. I think you guys can finally put a label on it after all this time.
Yeah, time to DTR.
Silver Linings Playback is a production of HoboTrashcan.com. If you enjoyed the show, please rate or review it on Apple Podcasts. Hear more great shows on the Peak Sloth Podcast Network.